Hi, I'm going to do a little bit of package recycling this week, and I have this crisp or potato chip tube, and I'm going to use a craft knife to remove the bottom. I'll just run my craft knife along the edge of the metal and try and cut through the cardboard. There we go. So now I'm going to neaten this up and then I can use it to make a magnet. Okay, I'm just going to use this nail file to remove some of the overhanging cardboard. I'm just sanding it back so that it's going to be level with the base. I want it to be flat when it sits on the fridge or whatever surface you decide to stick it to. Once I've finished, you can see that there is still some cardboard there, but it isn't overhanging the back and it is completely flat, which is what I wanted. I have a couple of neodymium magnets, which are 10 millimeters across and 1 millimeter deep. And I'm going to place one in each of the bases. You might need to use two if you're going to use a lot of layers of resin, but I'm just going to stick with one now. I can always add some more to the back if it doesn't actually work. I'm just getting on some PPE and then I'm going to use some UV resin for speed and coat the bottom of the base just to seal in the magnet. I've just mixed some white alcohol ink into the UV resin and I'm going to put a layer on top of this base coat. I just want to hide the magnets and provide a base for the designs that I want to put on, the tattoos that I want to put on later. So I'll go ahead and even that out and then I'm going to cure it. Now that that layer has cured, I'm going to use some of this interference nail powder and dust this over the surface. It's better to use an eyeshadow brush, which is what I did in the end. So although it's not showing up very well from this camera angle, it gives a lovely pink sheen or colour flash when you tilt the magnet itself. And I'm just going to paint a line again to try and hide the text and the magnet. This is a UV gel nail polish. I didn't realize it was a cat's eye one, so you'll see that the magnet will trigger it. I'm using one with a purplish hue and one with a blue or green hue. And you can see that there's a little green ring that the magnet has triggered the gel polish. So I'm adding another layer of UV resin just to seal in the powder, and I'm also going to add some silver flakes to that layer as well. I have this series of butterflies. I've already cut it out. I'm just removing the film. And then I'm going to lay it face down on top of my resin. And on the other coaster, 2 flowers. Also going to remove the film, and I will position those face down. And once I have them in place, I'm going to get some water, and I'll just damp this baby wipe. And then I'm just going to pat the water onto the back of the tattoo. I don't want to saturate it too much because I don't want any of the water to leak onto the resin. I need to be sure that these are completely dry before I do the next layer of resin. Just keep dabbing and make sure that it's completely saturated. You should be able to partially see your image through the back. And then I'm going to let them sit for just a few seconds, about 30 seconds, probably not even that. And I will test them to see if the paper is ready to slide off. Okay, let's see if it's ready. So you can gently slide it to the side. And then I'm going to use the paper to smooth over the surface and try and make sure it's stuck down well and that there are no bubbles underneath it. And I'll do the same to the others. I won't worry about that edge, I'll sort that out later. I quite like it going over the edge anyway. I'm going to use a tissue to pat it dry. And then I'll use my heat gun just to make sure. So I've just put a final coat of resin on top, and I'm heating it with my heat gun to help smooth it out. I just want to show you that on this one, there's a small piece of foil sticking up above the surface. I didn't notice. So I'm just going to use a file and rub it down. I'm not going to care if I scratch the resin because I will have to just give it another top coat. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I laid down the magnets in the top part of the bases, and then I coated them with some epoxy just so that they became level and gave me a flat surface. Then I let them set. After that, I could put some stickers that I printed out from Creative Fabrica, and I used my Cricut to create these stickers. So I put them on to the flat surface of the resin. And then I just used a chrome marker to go around any of the edges where the sticker didn't quite meet and there might have been a little gap of resin. Then after I did that, I top coated them using a UV resin. I smoothed it out. And once the surface was nice and level, I used the heat gun to pop any bubbles. And then I set them using my UV lamp. And these are the results on the fridge.